Good day, everyone. In our previous lesson, we talked about the different changes that materials can undergo and their physical and chemical change. We also learned that there are certain conditions to consider to allow these changes to happen. We have the presence of oxygen, absence of oxygen, addition of heat, and removal of heat. And from the conditions, we can identify physical and chemical change in materials. Chemical change may occur when there is the presence of oxygen. For example, is the over-ripening of fruits that are exposed to oxygen, the digestion of food, and formation of rust. Chemical change may also occur when there is removal of oxygen and when heat is applied. And in order to know if chemical change took place, we can watch out for these evidences. First, the release or evolution of gas. Second, production of heat. Third, production of light. Fourth, production of electricity. Fifth, change in color. And sixth, the formation of precipitates. There are also processes involved in chemical change. We have synthesis and decomposition. We also learned that physical change can happen when heat is applied or when heat is removed. When heat is applied to materials, it can change from solid to liquid or melting or liquid to gas, or we also call evaporation. And these changes are called phase changes. When heat is removed, matter can also change. For example, from liquid to solid or solidification and gas to liquid or condensation. Can you give your own example of physical and chemical change? Well done! So this time, we will be talking about the effects of changes on the immediate environment and living organisms. Are you ready? Making products and improving the living conditions of people could mean technology is being used. Technology is science in practical use. As technology continues to produce more new products, major environmental problems arise. Over the years, the government and various non-government organizations have taken a number of steps to solve or minimize environmental problems. Environmental burdens would remain a great problem due to human activities and continuous industrialization. As more modern facilities and products are made through industrialization and scientific modernization, Earth becomes more and more polluted due to unregulated dumping of chemical wastes. Pollution can change the environment as well as the living organisms. It can kill people, plants, and animals. Materials that can cause pollution are called pollutants. Pollutants can get into water, soil, and air that can negatively affect us. Pollutants from soil may come from pesticides used on farms to kill insects and other pests, or from fertilizers that farmers put on the ground to help crops grow. Rain can wash away these chemicals into the rivers that can kill a large number of fishes, birds, and other animals. Pollutants from water come from factories that dump poisonous chemicals into bodies of water. Others come from oil spills from ships, tankers, and pipelines. They may remain dangerous to living things for a long time. Air pollutants are either gases or particulates, which include soot, smoke, and ash from coal combustion, dust released during industrial processes, and other solids from burning vegetation. So what are the effects of air pollution? So, what are the effects of air pollution? First, we have global warming. Second, acid rain. Third, ozone depletion. And fourth, the non biodegradable and toxic wastes. Let us go over them one by one. What is global warming? Global warming is also called the greenhouse effect. It is the increase of the Earth's average temperature. It happens when greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, such as methane and carbon dioxide, is higher than usual. What are greenhouse gases? These are gases that are capable of trapping heat. Where do methane and carbon dioxide come from? They come from burning fossil fuels, which most cars and other vehicles use every day. We all know that plants need carbon dioxide to perform photosynthesis, but since forests and other areas with plants are illegally logged or removed, almost no plants are left to prevent the buildup of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. When sunlight reaches the ground, it is absorbed as heat. Normally, this heat escapes to outer space. However, due to the increase in the amount of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, the heat is normally released is trapped in the planet, thus making Earth hotter or warmer than usual. What are the effects of global warming? Global warming could cause disastrous changes on the planet. Scientists say that the rate of changes in temperature is increasing. The first effect is the climate change, or the formation of extremely strong typhoons. Changes in the pattern and amount of rainfall that may result to flooding and drought. Changes in agricultural yields, reduced summer stream flows, and it can also trigger melting of glaciers in Arctic regions. Next is we have acid rain. Acid rain is produced when gases like sulfur oxide and nitrogen oxide combine with water. Where does sulfur oxide and nitrogen oxide come from? They come from burning coals that are used by power plants to generate electricity. When these gases reach the atmosphere, they combine with water and produce acids like sulfuric acid and nitric acid. This acidic water then becomes rain or as acid rain. What are the effects of acid rain? Acid rain is dangerous to living and non-living things on Earth. Acid rain can harm trees and crops when it is absorbed by their roots. Second, it can kill fishes and aquatic plants in lakes and rivers. Third, it can cause respiratory diseases in humans. Fourth, it can decay concrete structures. And last, it can corrode materials made of metals. The third harmful effect of changes in materials is the ozone depletion. But first, let us define what is ozone layer. It is the layer of the atmosphere where ozone gases form and settle. It also acts as protective shield that blocks ultraviolet radiation from reaching the ground. Although ultraviolet radiation is important in the production of ozone gases, it brings harmful effects to living organisms. A slight decrease in the amount of ozone in the atmosphere will allow more ultraviolet rays to reach Earth's surface. What causes the depletion of ozone layer? Emission of some chemicals like chlorofluorocarbons or CFCs could destroy ozone gases in the stratosphere. CFCs are used as supercoolant in air conditioners, refrigerants for coolers like refrigerators, used in plastic foam, insulation, and aerosol sprays. Studies have found out that the continuous use of CFCs has contributed to the destruction of the ozone layer. In fact, A big ozone hole has been observed in the Antarctic region. In this figure, you will see the ozone hole this year. So what are the effects of ozone depletion? The effects of ozone depletion are as follows. A slight decrease in the amount of ozone in the atmosphere will allow more UV rays to reach Earth's surface. It could cause intense sunburn, skin cancer, cataracts, premature aging, weakening of the immune system, and other health problems like abnormalities and various birth defects. It can also slow down natural processes such as photosynthesis and plant germination. In the ocean, it can lead to death of planktons and algae, which are sources of food for most marine animals, which leads to less food production in marine ecosystems. Another harmful effect that poses grave threat to the environment are the non-biodegradable and toxic wastes. Many people use various non-biodegradable products in their daily activities. These non-biodegradable materials usually takes about hundreds to thousands of years before they decompose as compared to biodegradable products. What are the common environmental problems that arise from improper disposal of non-biodegradable products? Number 1, we have flash floods. Plastic bags or wrappers may actually cause sewage or drainage systems to clog. This would consequently result to unwanted flash floods or flooding, especially during the rainy season. 2. Piling of garbage and pollution. In most cases, non-biodegradable products are dumped in landfills or dump sites. Because these products take longer period of time to decompose, they tend to pile up together with other waste materials. In time, toxins or harmful chemicals may actually leach into the soil and finally pollute underground water systems. In some cases, these underground water systems may actually serve as water source to the community. In addition, harmful gases like methane are also emitted from these dump sites. Number 3 is water pollution. Aside from some factories releasing harmful chemicals, the improper disposal of products containing plastic in different bodies of water is actually one of the primary causes of water pollution. As different bodies of water become polluted, marine organisms like fishes, seahorses, shellfishes, turtles, and tortoises could sometimes mistakenly eat these products that would eventually result to their deaths. So what are the ways to prevent changes that may have harmful effects on the environment and living organisms? Number 1 is we should be responsible in disposing our wastes. Wastes are part of normal life, but we must be responsible for the proper disposal of these wastes we produce. We need to practice the principle of 5 R's, which we will study in the next lesson. Number 2, use environment-friendly products. Minimize the use or do not patronize products containing environmentally harmful substances like CFC and plastics. Instead, go for environment-friendly alternatives. For example, instead of using or buying plastic bags for shopping, you may opt to use eco bags or recyclable bags. 3. Avoid the use of too much electricity and gasoline. Let us do our share in maintaining a healthful environment. We must avoid the use of too much electricity and gasoline. We must also avoid burning rubbers and plastics. And for your activity, complete the diagram below by writing the effects of the changes in the environment. Get your notebook and copy the table on the screen. And always remember that changes can be good or bad. We have to practice ways to maintain a healthful environment to protect Earth from further destruction due to global warming, acid rain, and depletion of ozone layer.
This has been Teacher Bien. Thank you and watch out for the next lesson about 5 R's in waste management. Keep safe, everyone.